Haput mamanyo jo madhi bedo komishonas mag duol matayo yiero kod chugo kie pacho ka IEBC tieko tijgi madayo dho jogo madwaro lemogo kawuono. Kawuono gidayo dho ji abich kamoting'o Kubo Ann Waithera Gashoya mane en jalup jatend migawo mar somo Nur Hassan kanyakla kod Michael Olieo. Bang' tieko to gibiro bedo kod romo madundo mar loso lipot mar chwalo nyinge ariyo magipuodho ni nyalo bedo jakom duol mar IEBC mondo jatend piny okwany ng'at achiel e kindgi kod komishonas auchiel mag IEBC.
DPP wrote another letter and said you have no case, that there is no ongoing case on you. And yesterday we received another letter from IEBC actually saying that they have since learned that DPP has made application to withdraw the appeal. So maybe you can shed light on us on this particular case. There was the ACC case number 26 of 2016, and then also the Court of Appeal file number 4 of 2018. And why the two agencies are writing on one side something else, and then they are writing other letters. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's true there was a case of 2016, which I was acquitted, along with very many other staff in the ministry. And therefore, I have no idea about another case that is existing. So, Mr. Chairman, the question about the different letters coming from the state agencies, I'm not privy to it, because it didn't come through me, and I have no idea about it.
Thank you. I wish you well. Thank you, Chair.
What was the case in 2016 about?
It was administrative wrongdoing in tendering process of some items that was purchased by National Youth Service, which products were taken on board by National Youth Service and used, and therefore the ministry sought to find out from EACC, because of the noise, the political noise at that time, when payment process was being done, the ministry sought EACC to find out whether these payments are genuine, because the goods have already been taken on board. So that was a case of that nature. And then the payment was stopped. So there was no loss to government. It's just a question of administrative misunderstanding between EACC and the bank, and the political noise at that time about NYS. It had nothing to do with misappropriation of funds or funds lost or integrity issues of that kind.
And what was your role?
I was the chair of the tendering committee.
Okay. Was there any conviction?
No conviction.
Not even of any other officer who was accused alongside you?
No.
And there was no appeal by the ODPP?
I have no idea.
You have no idea that you went to the Court of Appeal to seek stay of that appeal?
Personally, I didn't. Maybe the other members have gone.
Okay. Thank you. When I'm starting.
Thanks so much, Chair. Wananul, I want to take you on the issue of IEBC, Article 88 of our Constitution, which gives IEBC the role of boundary delimitation, and ask you if you have information on when we did the last boundary delimitation. There are some constituencies which were protected constituencies. Please mention to the panel your understanding of why they were protected constituencies and how many they are.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I cannot. First of all, the review was done. The last review was done in 2012, and the next review was due after 8 years or after 12 years, as the Act provides for. Some of the boundaries that have been, some of the constituencies that have been protected, constituencies like Isiolo South or Isiolo County, in Isiolo County, they were, sorry, I can't remember any other constituency. That is, I can only remember Isiolo. They were protected because of special interest groups, because of the numbers. The population quota may not have reached the level, the threshold required for a constituency. But because of the vast nature of the place and the geographical setup of the location and the diversity of the population, then certain constituencies would have been zeroed and identified as protected constituencies.
Thanks so much, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to ask Fatuma to ask you some questions. Fatuma, please.
Thank you so much, Chairman. Mr. Hassan, would you kindly tell the panel what governance principles should guide the IEBC engagement with election stakeholders?
Governance
principles that should guide the process which IEBC uses to engage its stakeholders.
IEBC should engage stakeholders in a manner that looks like they're engaging an entire stakeholders by making sure that special interest groups are provided for, that nobody is left behind, that there's fair hearing of all issues that have been raised by special interest groups. For example, the women, the youth, people with disabilities, they must engage them. There must be fairness in making sure that every election issues are provided for during this stakeholder engagement. Stakeholder engagement should not be done very close to the election, because once you do that, the hype of election, the emotions are running high. Nobody will be listening to stakeholders and the process as it were. So IEBC should make sure that the stakeholder engagement are done way far away from the process of election, because during elections nothing normally happens. Unfortunately, IEBC is funded towards the tail end of the election cycle. That's why they run into the problems of giving stakeholder engagements at the last hour, and that has been very disadvantageous to the electoral process.
Thank you very much. I wish you well. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you. I want to ask Nicodemus to ask some questions, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Bwana PC, I think they still call you that.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think causes procurement issues in institutions?
What
do you think brings about problems on procurement in institutions?
Problems of procurement in institutions are caused by inefficiencies. It's caused by last-minute rush of procurement processes. Overlooking processes within the procurement itself. In case of the IEBC, I think the biggest headache has been funding cycle, and that's why during procurement in the last hour, agencies that are providing services and goods can take the procurement, can take the organization, can hold the organization at ransom, because they know we are on strict deadlines that cannot be achieved without fast-tracking procurement. And they push you to the edge such that you have no other alternative but to go for restrictive tendering, for example. And when you do restrictive tendering, you tend to overlook certain aspects of the procurement procedures. So that's where the challenge comes. And therefore, in the case of IEBC, I think it starts with the funding cycle and ends with the funding cycle.
So,
yeah, overpricing is also a big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when procurement is not done right,